What's up, everybody? This is the Grand Line Gazette, where we talk about One Piece damn near every damn day. That's Kev. I'm Corey. We talk about One Piece a lot. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff because we need
Yep.
the support. We're a new channel. Trying to find more people to talk about One Piece. So if that's you, leave a comment down below on how you guys feel about this topic. We are talking about Devil Magic.
Yep.
It's been around since episode 1 with Devil Fruits. We have Devil
True.
Magic. We've seen it during the time skip with Brooke. We've seen it in the last arc, Egghead, with the Gorosei. We have
True.
seen it more recently with Shamrock Figureland. So hopefully you guys are all caught up in the manga. If you found our channel, you probably are. We're going to talk
Yep.
about it. So we have a couple of questions for you guys. We want to know how you guys think Emu fits into this. We want you guys to tell us a couple of other things about, whether one thing is significant or not. So let us know your guys' thoughts. Um, I guess as a whole, Kev, if you can get us started with just like the concept of this devil magic and why it's important now.
Well, it's still kind of fluid because we don't know quite a bit about it as of yet. We know that Emu somehow shares this power or allows multiple individuals, such as the Gorosei and even recently a Shamrock, to use the teleportation circle. Now, I feel like that this isn't a single person's power as far as the Gorosei, and it has to be Emus, just because they already have yokai forms. So I feel like that kind of takes place of their power form. So I'm starting to think a lot more that this is more of an emu power, and that provides them the ability to transport as well as maybe even go full yokai as we've seen on Egghead.
Yeah. And as far as magic as a whole, devil magic does have more implications, as we're seeing with Scopper. He is the Mountain Eater. He is somebody that is looks like a demon fighter. You know what I mean? And I think that is going to turn into a training kind of idea for Zoro. I don't think he's going to specifically train him, but I think he's going to help Zoro tap into that demon form that we are all waiting to see, like that final form Zoro's got. So I think that has something
I
to do with Scopper. I also, you guys let me know how you guys feel about this theory. I think the circle in the center of the throne room is Scopper's.
Ooh, okay.
So
Do you think like he summoned Shamrock there or something?
no, I think he says he explores a lot. I think he might have
Mhm.
circles all over the island.
That's
If
fair.
he knows these secrets for the demon magic, that's all hindering on that. But that's a video for another time, possibly this week. Here we're talking about devil magic, so I'm gonna get a start with the first question, and then Kev is gonna roll out the next ones. But we're gonna start with: does Emu have full control over this devil magic? As a whole, we have seen Emu um, give people the ability to turn into yokai monsters for the Gorosei. We have seen Emu transform and use abilities himself, shadowed, but when he attacked Cobra and Sabo. So these are obviously coming from him, but to what extent? Kev, could you
Sure.
help?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thoughts on it are as well. I mean, we have to look at everything that kind of is correlated to Emu is that we haven't seen him outside the throne room or that little area with all the flowers and the butterflies. So it seems like he may need to stay close to Marijois to be able to utilize it. Maybe the height helps. But when he was able to take away the power from Saturn, Saturn was on Egghead. So I feel like that these are just tethers from Emu to them, and they could be taken away as well. But like, does it enhance their strength as well? Does it provide them with enormous amounts of hockey? Is that something that you even foresee being a power up from these gifts that Emu's provided?
Like a hockey power up, like okay, now
Yeah,
you're
something.
now you're base admiral level. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just off
I
rip.
mean,
Um,
it.
I think so. I think it also has to have some kind of consequence if that is it. Just like the devil fruit, you can't go in water. I think there's going to be some other kind of consequence. Maybe it's that you don't age, except all at once. You know what I mean? Maybe that eternal life is the
True.
consequence. But
And, ooh, I like that. Okay.
so with that being said, the eternal life is the consequence. It's like once the this actually goes into the second part of the question that you brought up. Once the siphon is done, let's say Imu is channeling this energy to these Gorosei, to these God's Knights, and once he cuts the siphon and they just die, like is that how that works completely, or can he just kill at whim if you have the siphon ready? You know what I mean? If you have the connection already.
Yeah. Yeah, and it also comes to me that there may be a ritual behind it as well, to establish a link. The reason I think that is because Figurling Garling had his like a one-on-one meeting with Emu when he was appointed, and then arrived at the chamber to all the other Gorosei. So there may be some type of linking ritual that very well may lead us into our next question, which is about the cult from the island. But is that something that we also need to see?
That's
Is
very interesting. Just I'm that makes me think
a
of
blood ritual or
or
Ghost Rider is what comes to mind.
or that's very blood ritual is really good, and it goes along with the demon thing. But
Hmm.
a verbal pact that you can't let the that he doesn't want the other Gorosei to
Ooh,
know that you made this pact. So maybe like Saturn didn't die because like Emu cut the energy off. Maybe he died because he broke the pact with the devil.
I like that.
And it's like the
Reminds me
other
of Harry
Gorosei,
Potter. Harry Potter
exactly,
was the same. Had that
kind of
thing.
like with
What
like
was it called?
Voldemort and the Horcruxes and stuff like that. But it, it's it's like hey, like they don't. That's why they're kind of at odds with each other because it's like maybe one of you guys have a deal with him that involves you watching me or something like that. I don't know. It's just a thought. But yeah, did you have any last thoughts on like the energy siphoning or anything?
No, it is interesting. I do like that. Maybe it is like, oh, I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if it's like once I found out that Emeth was still alive and you lied to me,
Yeah,
that was it. Like you have broken your solemn vow. But I guess that's more. That also means that that's more on Emu than it is Saturn. It's not as soon as I break my promise, I die. It's as soon as you
find
find out
out.
I broke my promise, I die.
Which is like a
Which
special kind of complicated that makes it like okay, that's something we can go with. You know what I mean?
I'm right there with you. I like that. I like that. And that leads me into my other question is we have this before during the time skip, we have Brooke being sent to this island, the land of poverty, Nakam Namakura Island. It's in paradise. Kuma sends him here, and it we don't know it at the time, but this looks just like the demon summoning circle that we've recently been shown on Egghead and on Elbaf. So why are they trying to summon a demon here with this cult when that's exactly what we do on Egghead? They summon 5 demons using the very same circle.
And these are in the center is a 5 pointed star. So the differences between the one that they used during the time skip versus the ones now is it's a closed like pentagram or pentagon in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and they use like pentagrams. They kind of have like the shapes off, but you notice the writing. The writing
I
may be
did.
consistent with poneglyph writing.
And poneglyph writing is ancient writing, so who really knows at this point? But it is interesting because this is ancient dark magic. I, to me at least, this gives off vibes that this cult could easily be messing up some or all of this design to where, hey, you're not doing it properly, it's not going to work. Where on the inverse, Emu is the living embodiment of like
That
a 1,000-year-old curse.
maybe
Yeah.
that ancient culture. And it's kind
Yes.
of funny because like in the last chapter, 1139, Road talks about how there's a country out there. Maybe he said there's multiple countries, but there's a country out there that tries to summon demons and they use circles too. So it's like, was he talking about this country? Or is this cult a specific band of people that are trying to mimic that? And that's also why they messed up. The question is, did they even mess up? Because they summoned Brooke. Like, technically, did they mess up? They summoned somebody with, like, a dead person with a soul, which is basically what a demon is.
Yeah, and I know I didn't know how to take it because I can see it definitely going that way where it's like no, they summon the demon and then we're gonna get a Brook awakening where it's like no, I'm actually the devil, the death fruit or something like that, not the revive fruit. But then at the same time, I also think Kuma sent each individual person to a specific island for a specific reason. So was Brook being sent here to learn about this and where he's gonna be like, actually, you know what, dude? I actually saw this circle when Ace died. I was on this dumb island, and these people summoned me and treated me like the god, and it was so weird.
It's
And
hard to rationalize the summoning versus timing thing where it's like,
yeah,
okay, you guys are putting all of your faith and effort and he shows up at that moment. Is that you guys summoning them, or is that just Oda giving us context that there are people that worship devils, try to summon? And it's also like, hey, I'm hiding it in Brook because he's a rock star. He's like punk rock. He's like skulls, like not even punk rock. He's supposed to be like metal, I guess. I don't know. I don't know rock like that, but like skulls and shit like that. Like, I mean, it was well hidden. You know what I mean? As just like a one-off goofy thing that Brook has to go through, and like, hey, he becomes like, hey, he becomes a singer, songwriter, famous, world famous kind of guy. But all this time, he's actually practicing his devil fruit, where he can separate his soul. So it's like maybe that's where the connection is. Maybe these things separate your souls. You know what I mean?
I like that.
And maybe it's like that's why you're like, I don't know, because it's like your physical body's still going somewhere. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
and it's also like we find out in chapter 1099 that like Kuma had to visit all of these places. So we don't get in depth with Kuma's each and every stop, really. But he may have learned something here where he's like, no, this is perfect. He's going to fit in with these cultists. And it's also interesting that the name of the island is also in English, Lazy Bones Island. That's, I mean, the bones joke is right there in the name. I'm waiting for the Brook laugh to come in, but it's, I mean,
And
he's known as
Kuma
Satan there.
thinks about this kind of stuff. Like they talk
Yeah,
about how kind Kuma is, how much like he thinks about others. So it's like he is putting himself in these people's shoes, even though he doesn't exactly know them. He's been keeping
sure.
tabs on them. So it's like he's sending them where most likely they need to go. But it's just like, ah, man, like I don't know. You guys let us know. Do you think Brook showing up on that island was a failed summoning, or how do you guys feel about that as a whole? This brought up a couple of questions for me outside of that, which brings us to our third question. Does the color have any significance?
Mhm.
When Brook was being summoned in the anime, it's blue, in light blue, which has some emu implications, ocean implications. Obviously, you have the devil magic, the devil fruits in the ocean. That's its own thing. But more recently, we have black magic, like black fiery flame magic. You know what I mean? So we also have red that it could possibly be like Conqueror's Hockey, the black and red. We also have like a purple and black. So it's like that is more synonymous with like a demon devil color. You know what I mean? So do these colors mean anything? Do these things hold any significance, whether it's one thing or another? Me personally, like every time I picture like these summoning circles, it's black with like red like magic coming up. You know what I mean? Because for me, that's
Yeah.
like demons. But
And I
we could
mean,
be thinking
does
of it backwards because it's like maybe that's
yeah.
just the hockey color, and then like dark magic is blue. It's supposed to be backwards because maybe it's not evil. It's all ambiguous. I don't know.
And yeah, it could be so many things. It could be the design, the symbols could be wrong. The design part is pretty different than the circle that we saw in Egghead and Elbaf. Egghead and Elbaf circles look basically identical besides the number. And then this one looks very similar, but little bit of pieces. So is that just multiple cultures having the same technique, but different ways to pull it off? And that maybe this cult did not have the power or the strength to complete the spell? That's possible. And I wouldn't be shocked if people like Skypeans had a circle and then the people like Lunarians had a different circle.
That would be
That
crazy.
would make completely sense. That would make complete sense to me.
Oh, I could actually, I like that idea for Lunarians having the ability to like know these like magic circles and everything
Mm-hmm.
like that. Um, to your point about the five on like the numbering on the
Yeah,
Gorosei circle. Now maybe that's a power thing. Like maybe it's like
agree.
just for them specifically, but it's hard to rationalize that versus what the Gods Knights do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we've only seen it with Shamrock and Gunko, so it's like, okay, was a Gorosei on the other side pushing him to Elbath, and then he just ends up here, or does he have the power since now maybe Garling's family is able to tap into it? Who knows?
Or maybe they
I
have a
mean,
room where they go to, where they're just like,
oh,
hey,
like Star Trek, dude. I didn't even think about something like that, like a teleporter room.
like a teleporter room, and it's like maybe I'm still not sold on who that person was behind the transponder still with a beard. Like if that person
Oh,
knows,
Mosa.
yeah,
Mhm.
Mosa. If that person knows what the throne room looks like, if they know exactly where it's been, if they can recall it in their head, and then they can take that information back to wherever these people are teleporting from. Maybe it doesn't matter if they've been there. If somebody has been there, you know what I mean? Maybe you don't
Yeah.
personally need to if somebody has. It's just, yeah, it's weird to try to define the numbering system for it.
And yeah, and it's also weird because to me, there's also a possibility where he could just piggyback off an old circle. Let's say that they already had a circle to Elbath from Marie Joie, and then Shanks or Shamrock could just tap into that whenever he wants. But he can't create new ones, for example. He can only use a previously used circle. We're speculating at this point, but I mean, it's out there, and I want to know how much Emu's a part of this process because
Now,
if Emu's
if it
main thing is teleporting, that's kind of whack.
if it is a previously used circle, it would be crazy. I mean, he does have Joy Boy's hat, so it's like if
Mm.
somebody like I don't know the first person that was like, "Hey, I'm gonna use these devil fruits," like also had demon magic, or let's call it devil magic, and transported to Marijwa, that would be the link that they could use back and forth. Like maybe you only need to do it once. Like maybe you can just teleport from Egghead back to Marijwa now. Like maybe that link is ever existent, but we just don't need to see it or don't see it, or maybe it's blown up, so you can't see it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, I do think that's a good thought. I think there's something there.
And we're open. We're open. We're just speculating right now because Oda hasn't really released too much about it. But I mean, I'm flexible here because I think Emu has to have more than one power. I think if somebody else has it in our story outside of Blackbeard, it will be Emu. And I don't know, is the transformation something that just comes along with it? Is it's its own special ability? Is it just black magic that you can kind of tap into? Who
That would be
knows?
very interesting. I want it to be because I want. This is our last point about this because I really want to make a video about this. I think Scopper Kaban knows black magic. I think he's going to teach Zoro black magic. I think Scopper's aura is black and green. And I think he is going to be. He is the left hand of the Pirate King. But that's how it's also like it could be not a humbling thing because it's Zoro, but it's like you learn from the left hand. Obviously, being the left hand ain't that bad, bro. You know what I mean? but you just need a clear Jinbei. You know what I mean? Like you got clear Jinbei, Sanji. So we can unanimously just say that. But whatever. That's my last point.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of shocked you put Sanji in the 3 spot now. That's kind of crazy. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
That would be crazy. Hey, they're talking about the third hand or like the left hand of the Pirate King, and also you see a silhouette. It's Luffy, Zoro, then big ass Jinbei.
Yeah, dude. And then it's like Sanji's just like he just taps Sanji on his shoulder, and he's just like, hop out, little bro.
I want to see those silhouettes of like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Hey, and don't get me wrong. Hey, Sanji's gonna have a glow up here. I think. Back to your point, if you teach him dark magic, I think that may be a way to unlock his black flame. That would kind of go. That would kind of go along with the color scheme as well. I like that. He had axes that were able to cut down the forest. I think there's something to do making those black blade axes. I'm feeling what you're putting down, and I'm right here for it. And I think that's a good arc for it, because we have magic, obviously, or angel magic, or demon magic. I don't know what we're gonna call it, but it's here. Like we're seeing it.
How many trees can you cut down, Zoro? With like a single slash, how many Elbaf trees? You know what I mean?
Hey, that's fine.
I'm because now I'm wondering, maybe he could learn something from Scopper.
Hey, it's possible. And the only other thing I want to say about the circle was this just, I mean, I want to reiterate this, is that we could find out later that Brook was a demon this whole time. Like, we've taken him as just comedic relief, but his fruit is weird. Like, usually when you die, your fruit, gets reincarnated and is able to be reused. But his fruit doesn't kick in until he dies. So how does his fruit ever get reincarnated?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know if he can die.
You have to die twice. But it's like, how do you die? Besides just drowning.
How does he die? I mean? Yeah, drowning would be the only thing I
could break apart all your bones or something like that. But, I mean, to your point, bro, he could be a demon. What if demons laugh like, yo, ho, ho, ho? Not just him. Like, it's like
his ice powers. Yeah. I mean, Brook's weird, dude. Yeah. I like Brook, and he's extremely weird. Now I can't wait to find out more about him.
Like,
he has. We'll look back.
We gotta talk about his Devil Fruit on a video, because his Devil Fruit has like abilities on on the Opie no Mi level, where it's like, okay, you just do unrelated shit, bro. Like,
yeah.
Like, this don't even got nothing to do with each other. Like,
I'm sorry. He went super speed and then iced the floor against Big Mom, but your whole power is revive.
Like, okay, like,
what part is that?
Okay, I get. Sanji said his leg was on fire because of passion. I don't think that ices your Devil Fruit, bro. Just because you said it's chilly like being dead. Like, I don't think that's it. I think something else is going on, bro. I think something on. The Rumbar Pirates might have had them fucking half giant or something. I don't know.
But you guys tell us if you guys want us to make that video. I mean, we're here for it. I mean, it's a great topic. And so you guys tell us what we're missing here. Tell us what you guys think about the dark magic circles as well. What else are we not picking up on? Is there something that you picked up on that we missed on this video review?
Well, yeah, that's about it for this video. Short week for us because I was out of town. We didn't get to pre-record anything. That's on me. But we will be back Friday because we got another cover story video and Saturday. Mm-hmm. Actually, break week this week. Got to find something to fill the time. We'll see y'all later.
Peace.